Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's a rainy day here in Nicaragua. It's been raining the past 6 days non-stop, and so it's been making our work a little bit harder. And today we have a lot of work to do here at the farm. I'm gonna show you in a bit what we got going on, but first I need to get some tools. I need to change an oil on the generator that we've been using for this project. I have the oil right here, and then I have the keys right here so we can get it changed. We've been working a lot of hours on the farm, so we have to make sure that we take care of our equipment here. If not, we're gonna be dead in the air without the ability of producing electricity here in the farm. I do have a solar panel for the stuff that doesn't need too much power, but for the saws I need a generator here. So we're gonna drain the oil and we're gonna get to changing it. Check it out, we've been running this machine non-stop, and it's actually pretty good quality. You know, this machine, I bought it in Managua and it's been lasting a long time. So I bought this oil right here at a gas station. It should be the right one. This is the 10W30, specifically for these kind of engines. So we're gonna give it some fuel. Está entrando ahora. Oh, the guys are finishing that up right there. Let me show you what we got going on today. A few days ago, we've had to pause the project because I needed to go into town to look for some workers here at the farm. But we managed to pause the project at a good stage. We were working on this wall over here that we want to finish. This is essentially the front of this rustic cabin that we're building. We managed to finish that side. So today, we're going to continue forward. We're going to finish this plank right here. And then after that, our goal is to move over to this side, and we want to start working the top, and we want to start working the sides over here, and eventually end over there. Now, I only have a few hours today because there's a lot of things going on at the farm. We need to go check on the workers who are picking coffee to see how that's going. And also we need to wash coffee, and we need to bring coffee down to the mill because it is coffee season in Nicaragua right now. So everyone's in full effect. Everyone is swinging for the fences, harvesting coffee. It's actually my favorite time in Nicaragua because all this commotion, getting to see the cherries come off the plant, getting to drink the coffee is just freaking amazing. So we're gonna put in some hours here, then I'm gonna show you around on how the harvest is going. We have some delicious food at the farm today. Some chicken, rice, and some beans and potatoes. We're gonna enjoy here. So good. It's always so yummy to eat some farm food here, made in an open stove, the old school way with some firewood. You know, the food just tastes completely different. So over the past week, we've actually ran into some problems, I think starting today, here at the farm, because it's been raining for so long, 6 days in a row, that the coffee that's ready to harvest is starting to crack on the plant. It started to split open, which is definitely not good. I'm gonna show you guys after we're done eating. We'll go to the plantation. So thankfully I was able to pick up 2 workers that are gonna start picking coffee tomorrow, and we want to pick all the coffee out by the end of this week. But it's part of farming, because farming, really, you have to play with the weather, and you can't, well, that was for the dog, and you can't really control the weather, so you have to learn how to work with it. And that's one of the challenges of being the farmer, is that the weather can take a twist, and then all of a sudden all your cherries are overripe, and you need to get it picked as soon as possible. You live and you learn though, you know, since this is my first time really. Before this, I've never done any farming. Now we're learning as we go though. All right guys, let me take you on a quick tour here. We are about to walk one of the plantations, which is a variety called Parainema. Now this variety or plantation here has been at the farm for about, I would say 7 years. So it's a little bit of an older plant, but I want to show you guys specifically what I mean with, oh damn. All right, there you go. Knocked my head on that. Oh damn, there's a bees. Oh shoot. Holy guacamole, that was kind of sketch. There's some bees there. And the reason I'm going to show you is I want you to see what I'm talking about, the weather. So you would never really think that weather would affect the harvest so much, right? But once I started coffee farming, I realized what an impact weather plays. And I guess it should have been obvious, right? But since I've never farmed before, I was really naive and jumping into this like completely blind. So I learned this, I think later, about a year into coffee farming. But what happens is when the cherry is maturing in coffee, it matures in cycle. So a portion of the coffee on the branches here will mature, and then the portion will stay green, and the portion is like still maturing, like this one. So when you harvest coffee, you don't harvest everything at once. What you do is you go to the plant and you pick only the ones that are red, ripe red, the ones that are ready to be harvested from the tree. Oh, I got smacked in the face there with the branch. So for example, this, take a look at this right here. So these guys are ready to go off the tree here, and they're ready to go caffeinate you in the morning. Now, where the problem comes when it rains too frequently, let's say it rains like 6 days in a row, it's that the trees start to mature a lot faster. So the cherries need to come off the plant quicker, and if not, they start to open up. So check it out. So this is a coffee cherry right here, and look at that. It is completely open. So the bean is still good, but the problem is if you don't pick these open cherries out, what happens is the cherry ends up in the ground. So since the cherry is open, it just falls off the coffee tree. And when the cherry's on the ground, it's an invitation for insects, specifically this plague called the beetle borer or la broca, like what we say here in Nicaragua. And this can actually really mess up your harvest, and it can just multiply since it's a plague. So when you're farming coffee, let's say you don't have people ready because you're projecting that your harvest is going to be, let's say, the second week of January, but then all of a sudden you have this rush of rain come in 6 days straight. Now your harvest is now 2 weeks early because of all this rain, and you're left in the air, and you have to go rush to find people to try to harvest that coffee before it ends up in the ground. So that's really what happened to me. The coffee is still good. I mean, look how freaking beautiful this looks. It looks like Christmas. Every time I take a look at this, it reminds me of Christmas. That's why I love it. But as you can see, some of them are already split open and ready to be picked. So the quality will still be good. It's just that we need to start picking faster now so those don't end up in the ground. Those are the challenges of coffee farming. Now walking through the area here, you can tell there's a lot of red cherries ready to be picked. So what we're hoping is that by 2 days from now, we're going to be in this lot here. So the team's working in the lot that's in the entrance, and they have a lot of cherries they're picking there. And after that, they're going to come over here and pick more of the cherries. I would say it's similar to if you guys have ever been to a winery tour. If you go to the vineyards and have the grapes, and they tell you about how weather affects the grapes, how the smoke in the air, if there's forest fires and everything else affects the grapes, it's the same with coffee. The good thing is that I was able to find people to bring to the farm. If you watched last week's vlog, or I think 2 weeks ago, I went into the mountains looking for people and I couldn't find anyone. So I got stood up a bunch of times. And now that I have people, I am thankful that people are here. We just need to hurry up and push hard to get this coffee off these trees to make sure we produce that delicious cup and we get it to you guys at your house here. Now we're gonna go to another part of the plantation where we planted some brand new babies, some brand new little coffee plants. We gotta go check on them, see how they're doing. So this is where the smaller plantation starts. Check it out, one right here, one right here, one right here, one right here, and it just moves along all the way. Oh man, I wonder what happened to this one. It looks like it got eaten by ants. Damn, that sucks. We gotta keep an eye on those ants. They like to come in and tear everything up. You see this? So this plantation is looking amazing though. I really like how it's developing. It is looking spectacular. We did a lot of work here to clear these fields. Essentially, it's planted all the way out there and looped around. So here we have about an acre of coffee, and it's gonna take 3 years until we can try a coffee bean. But right now it's only a total of about 5 months old, 4 months old. So it's tiny. It was a lot of work to get to this point. Actually, the variety of this coffee plant here, the seed of that won Nicaragua's 6th place best coffee, meaning it competed against other farms. And the taste of this coffee here is on top 10 Nicaraguan coffees. So we should expect some very good coffee coming out of this farm in the next few years. And that's what rebuilding this farm is about, is slowly improving the quality and getting better coffee for you guys. But take a look at it, very peaceful. Always love being out here in the fields with these incredible views, the wind, the light rain. It's looking good. We do need to fertilize. We are behind on fertilization, so we need to get on that fertilization. But due to the lack of people and with harvest taking priority, we're gonna focus on that first, and then we're gonna come over to this side to make sure we give some love to these guys so they stay nice and healthy for the future. It's time to pack up some coffee. We need to bring some coffee to town to go turn into the mill here. Since it's been raining, we've been having it covered here so it didn't get wet. So we're gonna uncover it and we're gonna pack things up right now. Check it out, guys. The fresh coffee you guys drink online. Look how nice it looks. This year's harvest is looking fresh, nice and delicious. And this is what happens when you take care of your coffee. Look how clean it looks. We really love giving good care to the coffee and people. Comes out in the cup here. So we need to pack this up. This needs to spend about, about 16 to 20 days drying. So right now, since it's so rainy, we can't afford to dry it in the farm because it will go bad. It's just the weather here is too humid, so it might get moldy. So we can't afford that. So right now it's still good because we just washed it yesterday. So it still has a lot of water content in it. So we can have a little bit of time to take it down to the city and dry it there. We have around 5 coffee sacks we need to bring down. I'm thinking like 350 pounds. I'm gonna move the truck right now a little bit closer so the guys can load it. And then that's gonna be going down to the city. Te quebrarla. We just finished some harvesting right now, so we're gonna weigh the coffee. I made it really late into the city yesterday. Ended up leaving the farm because I was gonna try to make it back into the city in enough time to go drop off the coffee in the coffee mill. But since I didn't make it in enough time, I had to leave the coffee in the truck. And I left it inside the garage here. I opened up the bags though so the coffee could breathe. So today we have to go drop off that coffee. We have to take care of a few things here in the city. Here's the coffee that we brought down. You can see this one's already getting dried, so I wasn't too worried about leaving it in sacks. If it was really wet, I would have taken it out and put it on an area to dry, just spread it out and let air go through it. But because it's not really wet and it was already getting towards the dry phase, I was okay with leaving it inside here. But let's get the truck out and let's get moving. Woo! Look at that! Cleared it. Take a look at this right behind me. Imagine you go to work, and every time you go to work, your truck looks like this, and you need to go to a car wash. Look at that. It's been raining 6 days straight at the farm, as I was telling you guys, and man, let me tell you that it is pretty muddy. It gets very slippery. It can get to a point where I actually need chains on the truck. It is a Wednesday right now in Nicaragua, 8:30 in the morning. So you have everyone setting up their shop, setting up their adios, nos vemos. Those nice ladies. Everyone's setting up their stands right before all the commotion starts. We are near the Central Park, so this is usually where you'll find all these vendors here. You can get some good food, at the same time buy yourself some nice vegetables for the house. I love walking this area because there's a lot of just atmosphere. There's a lot of people walking around, and they're awesome, man. This is the beauty about Nicaragua, is that you step outside and you're just greeted with all these amazing people, food, groceries, and everything else that comes along with that. We'll drop off the coffee here. So they have some coffee drying here already, which is amazing. Let me show you guys some raised beds. This is where coffee dries very slowly and very carefully. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to avoid the sun. So they want to dry it in a more controlled environment, something that doesn't have too much heat, so the coffee can dry slower, it can age better, and it can taste better. So these are raised beds, and sometimes I dry my coffee in raised beds, sometimes I dry them in a different way, like this right here, as you can see. It's another way to dry coffee. It's perfectly fine. They added a tarp, not a tarp really, it's more like a mesh at the bottom, so the coffee can breathe and it's not directly on concrete. So this is another really good way to dry coffee. And we're gonna unload, get weighed, and then they're gonna throw it here, and they'll have it dried for me in about 19 days. And then after we collect the whole harvest, everything will be prepped and ready to export, and then we'll have it on our website for yourself. If you're watching this video, you can already buy some coffee on our website, immenscoffee.com, and you'll be trying exactly what you're watching here. Allá eres famoso. So this is the coffee that I left behind to dry up in the backyard here at my house. Last night, since we got home late, I spread it out on the tarp so it can get some air. But right now we're gonna move it to a raised bed. I'm gonna show you guys right now. We're gonna pick all of it up right now. Vamos a echar la pan aquí, ¿eh? Ahora aquí, ¿ves? Eli, aquí. Come on, come on. Wow, buen trabajo, chiquito. ¿Entendés? No, aquí la pan. Sí. Aquí, ¿ves? Wow, buen trabajo. So I had built this a long time ago to dry coffee at the house. You can see some nice little raised coffee beds where the coffee can get slowly dried. I also put a roof on it to give it some shade. So I just brought it out since the season's starting. Cortando es como el tamaño de el tamaño de. What do you think, Elliot? Looks so beautiful. You like it? You approve this coffee? Is it gonna taste good? That's why I love working here in Nicaragua, is I get to bring Elliot in the mix, and he gets to be part of something that we're building here. So hopefully in the future he likes it. But if he wants to do something else, I'm okay with that too, as long as he does something that he loves.